ข่าวลึกรอบด้านสู่การเปลี่ยนแปลงข่าวไทย PBS ข่าวที่คุณวางใจ
Tonight on the program, a timeline of the murders of 6 Vietnamese nationals in a hotel room in Bangkok and how the story unfolded. Then we dive deeper into the spread of black tilapia fishes. And a visit to a photo exhibition showcasing images of endangered animals by a renowned wildlife photographer. Swadika, I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. We begin tonight with the biggest story of the week. 6 Vietnamese nationals were found dead in a luxury hotel in the heart of Bangkok. Initially, news reports indicated that it was a mass shooting, but it turned out to be cyanide poisoning. Here's a summary of what happened and how the story unfolded. Tragedy struck in a luxurious hotel in central Bangkok, where 6 foreign nationals were found dead from cyanide poisoning. The bodies of 6 Vietnamese nationals, including 2 with dual American nationality, were discovered Tuesday afternoon in a hotel room at the Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel. The father of one of the victims told a local newspaper that his son was supposed to return home last Sunday. He kept calling him but could not get through. He did not expect his son to die in Thailand. The victim's mother has been in deep shock, fainting repeatedly since hearing the news. Pictures of the bloodless crime scene shows bodies scattered around the room, plates of Thai food left untouched, and 2 thermos flasks and cups. Initial tests revealed the presence of cyanide in these cups. A pathologist explained that the mouths and nails of the victims had turned purple, indicating cyanide poisoning, which causes a lack of oxygen in some organs. The police are convinced that it was one of the 6 victims who committed this crime. Deputy Commander of Bangkok Police Nopasin Punsawat stated that one of the 6 Vietnamese may have carried out the poisonings over crushing debts of millions of baht. The multiple deaths initially sparked rumors of a mass shooting, but police have debunked this and other speculation, including the involvement of a 7th person. Investigators noted that no movement had been observed around the suite since Monday afternoon, suggesting the deaths may have occurred the day before the bodies were found on Tuesday. Meanwhile, police have launched a search for a second tour guide known only as Tiger, who was asked to buy medicine for one of the deceased. According to testimony provided by another Vietnamese guide, he had asked Tiger to buy number 7 snake medicine widely used to treat joint pain. The guide was questioned as a witness by police, during which he said he was asked to buy the medicine with 11,000 baht one of the dead women gave him. Instead, he asked Tiger to buy the stuff on his behalf and had it sent to her at a hotel near Suvarnabhumi Airport. The whereabouts of Tiger are currently unknown. In light of the tragedy, Prime Minister Sethar Thavisin stated that the crime has nothing to do with national security and should not impact Thailand's tourism sector. The Vietnamese embassy in Thailand stated that they would continue to work closely with Thai authorities throughout the investigation to provide necessary support for their families and will adopt any necessary citizen protection measures. Autopsies on the 6 victims have been completed, according to the director of Chulalongkorn Hospital. However, the hospital cannot return the remains to their relatives until they receive clearance to do so from the police. Another growing issue in Thailand is the spread of black tilapia fish. This fish species is a major threat to other fish and aquatic life, as well as vegetation in watercourses, because they eat almost non-stop and spread very quickly. Though the fish species may be common in rural areas, their spread into the swamp in Bangkok's Makassan area earlier this week rang alarm bells for authorities. This is a Blackchin tilapia fish, which has suddenly become a national issue following its rapid invasion of several watercourses across Thailand, including Bangkok. Earlier this week, the Agriculture Minister pledged to prioritize the elimination of Blackchin tilapia fish nationally. 12 years ago, a strange-looking fish was first caught in shrimp and crab farms in Phraek Nam Dang sub-district in Samut Songkhram province, not far from Bangkok. Since then, locals have noticed that the fish are always caught along with other aquatic animals. The size of the fish caught are getting bigger and bigger.
หมู่5 ตำบลแพรกหนามแดง อำเภออัมพวา จังหวัดสมุทรสงครามก่อนนะเจอในวังกุ้ง เวลาเราเปิดกุ้งออกมาเนี่ย เราก็เจอปลาตัวมันเงาว่าปลาอะไร มันคล้ายปลานิลคล้ายปลาหมอเทศนั่นแหละ แต่หน้ามันโหนกกว่า แล้วก้างแข็งกว่า แล้วเกล็ดเงากว่า เราไม่รู้ว่าปลาอะไรเลย แล้วเราก็คิดว่าไม่กี่วันมันก็หมด เราไม่คิด อยู่ๆมา พออยู่ไปเรื่อยๆเอ๊ะปลาหมอเทศเริ่มหายนะปลาที่ใกล้เคียงกับเขาเป็นพันปลาหมอเทศนะมันก็เริ่มหายเริ่มลดลงไอ้นี่ก็เริ่มมากขึ้น
They found out that there are Blackchin tilapia from West Africa, a non-indigenous species destroying the ecosystem by eating small aquatic animals. They spread rapidly as they generally breed every 22 days, with females producing anywhere from 200 to 900 eggs, which are incubated by the males. The Blackchin tilapia later invaded other farms and canals, including one of the canals connected to the water control gate of the shrimp farm and other national watercourses in Phraek Nam Dang sub-district of Amphowa district. Locals say they usually catch nets for fish, but in 2012, the only fish that they caught were Blackchin tilapia.
มันมี 3-4 คลองบริเวณนี้จังหวัดนี้คลองเยอะมากที่สุดเลยนะ200-300 คลองสายน้ำมันไม่ใช่ปากกาขีดแล้วหยุดมันน้ำไหลไปถึงไหนปลาไปถึงนั่นแหละจากจุดบ้านผมเนี่ยอยู่ท่าทางตรงเนี่ยไม่เกิน3 กิโล
Most areas in Yisan sub-district of Amphowa district of Samut Songkhram have rivers and other national watercourses, including shrimp, shellfish, and sea bass farms, which have 3 main canals connected to them. These canals, such as Klong Bang Yao, Klong Luang, and Klong Don Chan, surround the Yisan Saltwater Animal Research Center, which owned by private company Jareun Pokapan Group, which imported the Blackchin tilapia 12 years ago. The locals proved that claims about the Blackchin tilapia invading the canals by casting a net. They immediately caught a Blackchin fish in one casting. A report by the National Human Rights Commission shows that there was a proposal to import Blackchin tilapia for tilapia breed improvement by the research center, with approval from the Biosafety Committee, but this was denied. In 2010, the proposal to import the Blackchin tilapia was approved. About 2,000 of the fish were imported to the Yisan Saltwater Animal Research Center. Unfortunately, the experimental tilapia and the Blackchin tilapia breed improvement was unsuccessful. The company then buried, including Chanthaburi, Trat, Chonburi, Ranong, Cha Cheung Sao, Samut Prakan, Bangkok, Samut Sakhon, Samut Songkhram, Ratchaburi, Phetburi, ประจวบคีรีขันธ์ชุมพรสุราษฎร์ธานีนครศรีธรรมราช and Songkhla. Examples of Blackchin tilapia in 6 out of 16 provinces have been proved genetically to originate from the same habitat in Samut Songkhram. The species is reportedly found in 4 districts of Samut Prakan province and in the Gulf of Thailand.
Recently, the Director General of the Department of Fisheries announced the 6 measures to combat this alien fish species. Warisala Sahan reporting for Thai PBS World.
Recently, the Asia-Pacific Broadcasting Union and Thai PBS hosted the Global News Forum 2024, and the main theme for this year is the future of news. Former Prime Minister happiest made a keynote speech on the challenges ahead for the media in the era of digital disruption.
How will I do this in the website? How will I do this in the...
International news leaders are in Bangkok this week for the 2024 Global News Forum. The theme is Future of News, and most speakers agree that news is increasingly being influenced by algorithms. The key takeaway: consumers need to be aware that algorithms are determining the news they see on social media, and that may not reflect the whole truth. And the future: trust has been the most valuable asset that helps the media through difficult times. And to continue to stay relevant, maintaining truthful reporting based on professional ethics will always be important.
As a politician, I've always valued truth and also to be as transparent as possible. But I know that the challenge today for journalists, for those in the media, is that you are in a sea of disinformation, either deliberate or maybe accidental spread of misinformation. And to do your professional work, to make sure that you do get truth to the public, it's important that you have the skills to seek out the truth, the courage to disseminate it, and also to always make sure that you remain balanced and impartial as much as you can.
And here are some personal tips on how to combat misinformation and disinformation from the keynote speaker of the day.
For consumers of information or news, I think it's important to have diverse sources. That's always a good thing. And for those trying to fight it, I think it's important to be quick in calling out what looks like misinformation and have both the data and also the reasoning to prove that that is misinformation.
There were 7 panel discussions on the future of news during the Global News Forum. Full videos are available on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube channel.
Now let's talk about China. A Washington-based research institute recently released a survey showing that Thailand has mostly positive views about China and its leader Xi Jinping. Political analysts, however, told Thai PBS World that the younger generation would hold different opinions towards China's influence. Fostering national security with the U.S. and regional powers is the key to counterbalancing China's approach in Thailand.
Joe Biden. Which country would you say contributes most to peace and stability in the world, China or the United States? Washington-based research agency Pew Research Center recently released a survey conducted in 35 countries. While 18 high-income countries expressed unfavorable views toward China, 17 middle-income countries favor the Eastern economic powerhouse, and Thailand held the most favorable views of China, with 80% of respondents having a positive opinion about the country.
Please send me the link.
A political analyst and professor at Chulalongkorn University, Ajahn Thitinan Pongsutheerak, said, however, that the younger generation will have different thoughts about China's influence.
If you ask people in the streets and on the ground, and you ask young people, if you take a straightforward survey of young people's sentiments toward China, I'm not sure if it would be that favorable. Yeah, I think younger people, I mean, you can measure this, for example, by the election results. We have a political party in Thailand that is associated with young base, young voices, young demographics, and that would be the Future Forward Party, now the Move Forward Party. They are not as favorable toward China because they see China as supportive of autocratic rule in Thailand, military coup in Thailand. So young people, I think, would have a different, perhaps, view towards China.
Well, young people might see China unfavorably as regards its contribution to world peace. The country has increased its influence in Thailand through its media presence.
ในอาเซียน
Hakong Gachali of Chiang Mai University stressed that Thailand and China have fostered influence in a mutual way through mainstream media.
เราจะเห็นเลยว่าปัจจุบันนี้อิทธิพลของสื่อหลักของจีนนะครับผมเข้ามาอยู่ในเมืองไทยมากขึ้นมีทั้งในส่วนของตัวรายงานข่าวกับเมืองจีนนะครับในภาษาไทยแล้วก็รวมถึงนะครับเล่าเรื่องเมืองไทยในภาษาจีนทำให้มีการแลกเปลี่ยนตรงนี้นะครับทำให้ทั้งสองประชาชนของทั้งสองประเทศเนี่ยได้รับรู้เรื่องราวซึ่งกันและกันซึ่งอย่างที่ได้ย้ำไปครับว่ามันก็มีทั้งแง่บวกและแง่ลบแต่มันก็เป็นสิ่งที่ปฏิเสธไม่ได้ใช่ไหมครับว่าในปัจจุบันนี้เราก็ได้รับข่าวสารเรื่องจีนเนี่ยทุกวันเลยรวมถึงคนจีนเองก็รับข่าวสารเกี่ยวกับไทยอยู่ตลอดเวลาด้วยเช่นกันนะครับเนี่ยแหละครับก็คืออิทธิพลของนะครับสื่อหรือว่ามีเดีย
Because Chinese content about Thailand and the other way around in mainstream and social media spreads rapidly, Pakorn say that the Chinese government uses this approach to facilitate people-to-people connections. To decipher why most Thais hold positive views towards China, Professor Titinan suggests that the trade with China ensures economic growth, but Thailand is also toughening security with the United States and regional countries.
So the pattern has been on security, regional security maintenance, they still look to the US as a counterbalance. On economic growth, prosperity, they look to China as a locomotive for the way forward for the economy, economic growth and prosperity. And that's the pattern. Now for Thailand, I think that the view towards China is nuanced. If you look, if you ask strategic or academics, analysts like myself and so on, there would be this pattern: growth, prosperity, China, regional security, stability, U.S. in combination, not binary, not black and white. It's never black and white. Now, if you ask, I think public sector people, especially government people, they would have a very favorable view of China, especially from the last government. Thailand had a military coup in 2014. It was consequential for Thailand's position, posture, and view towards China. It became closer to China. Now, with the new government, since the election last year, I think that Thailand is still very close to China, but Thailand now has become also close to other countries, more omnidirectional.
In addition, China counterbalances trade restrictions initiated by the United States through offering economic support to ASEAN and other Asian countries. Belt and Road initiatives have changed middle-income countries' opinions about China's economic influence.
ในขณะที่ในช่วง 20 ปีหลังมานี้ซึ่งจีนเองมีการพัฒนาเศรษฐกิจอย่างก้าวกระโดดนะครับผมก็เลยเข้ามาในส่วนของเอเชียนะครับแล้วก็ประเทศที่กำลังพัฒนาตรงนี้เพิ่มมากขึ้นโดยเฉพาะเป็นการเข้ามาในเรื่องของทางการค้านะครับโดยราคานะครับสินค้าต่างๆก็เป็นนะครับสินค้าที่ราคาที่จับต้องได้ดังนั้นก็จะเข้าสู่กลุ่มผู้มีรายได้ปานกลางเพิ่มมากขึ้นถูกไหมครับดังนั้นก็เป็นอีกประเด็นหนึ่งที่เราสามารถที่จะตั้งสมมติฐานได้ว่าด้วยเหตุนี้นี่เองที่ทำให้กลุ่มผู้มีรายได้ปานกลางเนี่ยมีทัศนคติที่ดีกับจีนได้ดียิ่งขึ้นเพราะว่าจีนเองก็มีในส่วนของการแสดงจุดยืนว่านะครับเขาจะเข้ามาช่วยประเทศที่กำลังพัฒนาเนี่ยนะครับรวมถึงอาเซียนและไทยเราเนี่ยนะครับในส่วนของการพัฒนาเศรษฐกิจที่เพิ่มมากขึ้นและพอเราเนี่ยนะครับอยู่ในช่วงรายได้ปานกลางตรงเนี้ยเราก็มองว่าเราก็มีโอกาสที่ในการพัฒนาด้วยถูกไหมครับ
Frankan Shi and Charinya Lingpratpuwi Watana reporting for Thai PBS World.
And now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup. Prime Minister Sethar Thavisin signed edicts to allow pre-travel visa-free entry to Thailand for citizens of 93 countries and territories who can stay for a maximum of 60 days. All of the edicts are designed to increase foreign arrivals to boost the tourism industry in Thailand, which is regarded as a key driver in improving the Thai economy. The lower house passed the first reading of the government's 122 billion baht mid-year supplementary budget bill to fund the digital wallet scheme. Meanwhile, Thai people who are eligible to receive the 10,000 baht state benefit under the digital wallet scheme can register from August 1st, according to Prime Minister Sethar Thavisin. The Election Commission is investigating 2 complaints filed against Senator Ketkamon Pliensamai over her claimed educational credentials, specifically her professorship and PhD from California University. This follows an online controversy over Senator Ketkamon's academic credentials, several of which are alleged to have been purchased from foreign universities. And now let's talk about wildlife. The U.S. Embassy in Bangkok has held an exclusive preview of the National Geographic Photo Ark Exhibition, showcasing images of endangered animals in zoos, aquaria, and wildlife sanctuaries. These photos were taken by renowned wildlife photographer Joel Sartori to raise understanding of the importance of wildlife conservation. Baby pandas, chimpanzees, colorful fish, and insects. These are the endangered species captured through the lens of Joel Sartori, a renowned wildlife photographer. They're currently on display at the National Geographic Photo Ark Exhibition in Bangkok. Each image will also describe its subject's conservation status to remind the viewer that many of these animals are at risk of extinction. Some of them are already extinct, such as the pygmy rabbit and the frog.
This is an animal that was wiped out by a fungus that's sweeping the world called chytrid fungus. High altitude or montane amphibians are having real trouble with that. It kills a lot of them. And this was a rabbit that was largely eliminated because of agriculture. For potatoes, for French fries, believe it or not, in far eastern Washington. So this was one of the last ones, and they're extinct now. By the time I photographed her, you can tell she wasn't in great health, but I think she symbolizes an animal that's been beat down to the point where that's it, you know? And I really do think if we can get people to care about this, they'll care about everything else, including the future for their children and grandchildren.
How about this one? This looks like a very shy animal.
Yes, well, people say, well, how do the animals like the photo ark? Well, some are a little shy, most are okay with it. But in this case, he's kind of doing this, like, don't take my picture. But he's also eating a banana at the same time. So he was okay. If an animal's eating during the shoot, that's a sign that they're not very stressed. And look at how the hand matches my hand.
Like this?
Yeah, just like us, right? Just like us. This animal is trying to figure out what he's seeing. So he was shifted into a white shooting tent, and then he sees the front of my lens, and he's looking at himself in the reflection of my lens, trying to figure out, who is that? Is that me, right? So he's just trying to figure out what he's looking at, yeah. So these animals are so much like us. They really are. They have a lot of the same emotions we do, and they're curious. They're really curious. Monkeys, primates especially, very curious.
The Photo Ark project began in 2006. Since then, Joel has taken photos of over 16,000 species in 50 countries around the world. When asked what would be his favorite photo, his answer is the next one. As he explains, getting to explore different species is a source of excitement for him, and he's always looking forward to taking more photos of them in various zoos, aquaria, and wildlife sanctuaries. His Photo Ark project not only aims to showcase the beauty of these endangered species, but to get viewers to look beyond themselves and realize the importance of saving these endangered animals before it's too late.
The Photo Ark really exists to get people to try to care about something other than, let's say, the cost of fuel and sports, you know, just the things that we all care about, myself included, but to get people to look beyond that and realize that when we save nature, we're saving ourselves. And plants and insects are really at the top of the food chain in a way for me, not at the bottom. They are really what drives everything. Without them, we could not survive.
The U.S. ambassador to Thailand says the photo exhibition also highlights the collaboration on wildlife conservation efforts between Thailand and the United States.
Well, we really hope that this exhibition and Joel's work really inspires people to take action. We are all in this together. It's only by each of us taking all of the steps we can to help conserve, protect these species that we're going to save ourselves. That is really absolutely critical. And we hope that this helps move more Thai people and Americans and others who see it to action.
Nad Bunag reporting for Thai PBS World. And when you think of the happiest country in the world, you would often think of Finland. Finland has been crowned the happiest country in the world for 7 years in a row, as its citizens benefit from generous welfare policies and proximity to nature. The government takes care of Finns from birth to death, thanks to the high rate of taxation. While Finland seems to be perfect, immigration is a pressing issue that the government should address urgently. Frank Han-shi has more details.
It could take some effort to find a park in which to relax in Bangkok, but green spaces are easily reachable in Helsinki. Proximity to greenery is one of the reasons why Finland has been able to retain the happiest country in the world title for 7 years. Residents of the capital can also reach a national park in a mere 40 minutes by car. A forest guide in Nuuksio National Park, Joe, told me that people can make their own choices in Finland since government provides training courses and equal access to the resources. As working with the nature is his aspiration, Joe made his dream come true after being taught about forests and parks during government training programs. This opportunity has brought him an abundance of happiness. While citizens feel happy in the society, it does not, however, mean that they always express their happiness. A professor in Aalto University say that the extensive state welfare system and trust in institutions reduce unhappiness in the society.
Finland is the happiest country in the world. It doesn't mean that there will be more extremely happy people in Finland, but it's based more on the fact that there's less extremely unhappy people in Finland. And that's because of the government is able to take care of the citizens through these various healthcare services and so forth. So when people have some downturns in life, there's some ways of taking care of them. And because of that, then there's less misery in Finland than in most other countries around the world. And another factor is this welfare state benefits. So countries where the government is providing unemployment services, free healthcare, maternity and paternity leaves and so forth, these tend to be countries where people have high levels of happiness.
High rates of taxation is the reason why Finland's government can provide welfare policy and a large numbers of soundness to its citizens. Where a single worker pays an average of 31.6% in tax, a married worker with 2 children pays an average of 27.1%. Professor Martella emphasized that Finns are willing to pay taxes as the government takes care of them from birth to the end of life. Given the environment of well-being, Finland has become a popular state to which immigrants long to move. Allow American immigrants say that the government has provided various subsidies and learning courses to help immigrants to fit in. Despite high taxes, she feels satisfied overall. The lady pointed out, however, that the inclusiveness for immigrants in Finland's society needs to be improved.
I think Finns in general, they appreciate immigrants because they know that they bring a lot of diversity and a lot of value to Finland in general. I know that there's some, let's say, discussion surrounding that there needs to be more internationals, more immigrants to come to Finland to kind of help boost the economy because there's an aging population. So it's needed, and because of that reason, there's this discourse where it is appreciated. However, I have to say that there needs to be some work, some work to kind of help the system, kind of welcome the immigrants a little bit better.
Frank Han-shi reporting in Finland for Thai PBS World.
And even the happiest country in the world still has problems to deal with. And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ